Hello, stylishly branded femalepreneur. I'm so happy that you are joining me today for today's little marketing session. I am going to talk about a topic that is a little frustrating. Well, that's an understatement. It's very frustrating to many of us business owners, especially small business owners, and that is, ready for it? Ready for the word? The algorithm. This is a word that for many it's like right, but I'm here to tell you that the algorithm can be your best friend when you know what it's all about, when you know why it behaves the way that it does and the reasoning for it. Okay, so hopefully by the end of this little marketing session, you will change your mind and you will put into place some good practices that you can start like ASAP that will change how the algorithm plays with you and how you play with it. So let's first, as you're coming on, please say hello. Do not be shy. Drop any questions, comments that you may have. And if you're watching this on the replay, I always come back and answer all the questions. So don't be shy as well. Okay. I appreciate that you're here and that you're taking about 20 minutes of your day to hang out with me and listen into some of these tips. Now, I will say that there is a full in-depth training on this inside of my free community. So if you want to get in there to watch that, I did the training on Monday. Just say the word group and I will send you an invite via Messenger. Okay. And if you are brand new to the page, welcome. I'm so happy that you found me. My name is Gina Tassinelli. I'm the owner of Stylishly Branding with Gina, which is actually a division of our boutique social media marketing agency, Hype Media. And I am just absolutely passionate in working with small business owner, female entrepreneurs to elevate your personal brand, shine, gain visibility, connect you with your perfect audience so that you can build a business that you have dreamed of, but doing it in a way that's not overwhelming and that you don't feel like you have to spend 24/7 on social media. So one of the ways that you can do this is by playing nice with the algorithm. So let me know, how do you feel, like on a scale from 1 to 10, how well do you feel you play with the algorithm or the algorithm plays with you? Okay, so 10 being the highest, 10 being that you feel that it's working for you, you are showing up in people's news feeds, and we're talking more specifically on your business profiles. And I'm also going to tell you tips on good practices for this platform, but honestly, you can use this for any platform because every platform has an algorithm. It was not invented by this platform. I know many people get so frustrated, but I mean, since the internet's been around, there's an algorithm. There has to be. So let's get into that. Why does there have to be? Because there's only a certain amount of space in this virtual air that exists, right? So in order for the platform or the platforms that you're on to show you the most relevant content that you would be more highly to engage with and to stay on the platform with, they're going to keep showing you things that you tend to act more on. So whatever your behavior is on the platform is going to determine what gets served to you. Okay, so if you feel like you're getting a lot of political things in your news feed, or maybe people that you don't really care so much to engage with, but you keep seeing their posts on the news feed, stop reading their posts, stop clicking on articles that frustrate you, because what's happening is every click, the amount of time spent reading somebody's posts, going to other people's profiles, all of this is being collected on the back end of the platform. And it is determining what they should continue to feed you, because what the platform wants to do is to keep you on it for as long as possible, right? It helps their own business. They don't have this available to us as a user, as a consumer for free. They need to make sure that their advertisers are going to get seen. So they want to make sure that you are on the platform for long periods of time. So you want to really pay attention to what you're doing on the platform. You want to be very, especially as a business owner, you want to be really intentional as to the actions that you're taking. And that's going to determine what the algorithm will serve you as a consumer. Now, on the flip side of this, as a business, you want to make sure that the algorithm is picking you up, right? Because why else would you invest so much time, effort, even money into creating content, running ads, connecting with others if these connections aren't happening, if you're not getting the results that you expect to get? So you want to make sure that you are playing nice with the algorithm. So let's talk about what is the Facebook algorithm in general and why is it important to you? So first of all, it is basically an AI machine that on the back end is learning how to code everybody's behaviors. Okay, so it starts by updating your personal profile, and it will determine what posts are going to be shown and in what order and to whom. So if you're not a very active person on the platform and you feel that what you're posting on your business profile isn't being seen by anybody, you need to get more active on the platform. Even if you have somebody handling your own social media, you are still the admin, you are still the owner of that business page, and the platform knows that. So they want to make sure that if they're giving you this extra space, that you are going to also give back to them, right? It's not a one-way street, it's a two-way street when you are on social media. So depending on the behaviors that you're taking, and obviously your demographics, the interest that you're showing on other pages, that is all going to determine as to what is going to be displayed as a user in your newsfeed. But it's also going to determine if your business content is going to be displayed in the newsfeed as well. That's why content is so important. You want to engage with people. You want to inspire people. You want to share your knowledge. You want to bring value to your audience. And content creation is a whole other session, but it's really important to think about when you're putting content together, what is in it for your audience? What is in it for your reader, not for you? Okay, it's easy for us to say, oh, I'm going to, post this because these people really need to hear this or they really need to know about this. But that's great and all, but you also want to be really conscious as to what is in it for them, not for you. And that's just part of running a business and being a business owner and serving others and making an impact. So with your content, it's also going to determine if the quality of your content is being responded by others. And if nobody's responding to it, then the algorithm is not going to pick up your content and to show it to other people or to more people, because it's basically wasted space and there is no room to waste space. Just to give you an idea of the amount of users right now on this platform, and this is from the latest 2021 statistics, there are 2.74 billion monthly active users. Active. So imagine the ones that are also not active. And on average, there are 1.82 billion logins per day. Not to mention the amount of businesses that are investing in ads, right? With hopes of going viral and getting seen. So being very strategic as to your marketing and thinking about the user, not about you, but about the user, your ideal audience, is highly important if you want your content to get seen and to be relevant for the platform to consider it relevant enough to show it to more people and to take space. Okay, so when you can decode that, and I'm going to share some best practices to help you do that, but when you can do that, it's just a game changer for your social media marketing on this platform or whatever other platform that you're on. And all of these tips, like I said, you can use for not just this one, not just on Facebook, but other ones as well. Okay, so excuse me. All right, so let's talk just for a moment. How does the algorithm actually work back when all of this started versus now? Okay, so it used to be the frame of thought was that you needed to post consistently. And what I mean by consistently is like 4 times a day. That is no longer the case. Content is now what needs to be thought of first because we are being scored. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about that scoring system, but everything that we post, all of the messages, even private messages that we do, the live videos, the things that we share, all of that has a score and a rank to it. And if you are not feeding the platform valuable content, you're not going to score high and your content is just not going to be seen. Okay. And if you guys have any questions, please say something. I'm here to answer them. Okay. All right. So what is the algorithm looking for, right? First of all, they are going to prioritize live streaming. So if you have not started to do any lives, I highly encourage you to do so. I have been doing lives for about 4 years now, consistently, like weekly. Not all on this page because this page is pretty new, but on my other pages. And I'm telling you, the engagement and the amount of traction and ideal clients that will start coming to you instead of you chasing after clients, people now will be coming to you because they start to get to know you. You're building that like, know, and trust factor, which is part of the foundational steps of building a personal brand. So the more that people can hear you, can see you, can understand your tone of voice, can get to know your personality, you're going to start to attract the right people to your business. And Facebook Lives are the #1 way to do that, okay? So lives, video, carousel images, regular static images, links. So that's kind of like the priority from lives, recorded videos, carousel images, links, and so forth. They also want to make sure that you are interacting most frequently. So just to throw out a nugget out here, is there a difference in algorithms for personal use versus? Oh yeah, absolutely. There's absolutely a difference in algorithms, especially for this platform. And the difference, yes. So this platform specifically, they prioritize personal profiles. So you will always have higher engagement on a personal profile because this platform is meant to connect people, right? And a business page is not typically known as a person. So personal profiles are always going to gain higher engagement than the other. It would be a personal profile and then groups and then a business page, right? Now, why you should, if you're truly running a real business and running it as a real business, you should have a business page because first of all, friend-wise, you're limited to 5,000 friends on your personal profile, but then also you have a lot more assets available to you with a business page. So there are many advantages to a business page, but the challenge is the engagement, right? So what I always suggest, I do it for my own businesses. I'm also an image consultant and personal stylist to female entrepreneurs. So I have 2 businesses on the platform that I manage. And then as an agency, we manage like 20 different accounts right now actively. And I always suggest running a low budget paid strategy to help with that engagement. It's honestly a must. So you're either going to invest your time, which time is money, creating organic engagement and reach, which takes a lot of time to build, or you can offset that offset your time so you have more time to serve your clients and to, to get on calls and things like that by running a low ad strategy. Okay. And literally starting with $2 a day, you can change that for you. So, but to answer your question, yes, a personal profile will always have more priority, because those people that you are personally connected with, they are intentionally connected with you, right? Whereas on a business page, it's whether you share the business page or you invite people in organically, or they find you, maybe they search a certain topic and you pop up. So it's not, the intention isn't the same. But if you're running a business, you definitely want to use a business page. And plus, it's Facebook policy that you don't do business on your personal. Now, there are creative ways of doing business. You don't have to blatantly promote your business on your personal, but you can drive people from your personal to your business, which is really strong. Carousel is like, think of like a carousel. And so it's like a slide show of videos or images, just kind of scrolling through. That's carousel. All right. So, and I love these questions. So thank you. I love it. So one nugget that I do want to share with you that I have found super helpful. Actually, I'm going to give you a few. Okay. So one thing, the first one is every time you post a piece of content on your business page, you want to go and engage with 3 pieces of other people's content. Okay. It will change your engagement and your reach tremendously. Not right away. It takes a little bit of time, but just have this habit of doing so. So something that I typically do is in the mornings is when I take about 15 minutes of my time and I will go through my friends list. And I actually have friends lists set up on my personal profile. I have friends in different lists and I will open up one of those lists. So all that I see is in my newsfeed are people's posts on my personal profile that are in that list. And then I start engaging with their content for about 15-20 minutes. And then when it's time for my content to post on my business page, I tend to get a higher reach or engagement on those posts when I do that. So that's a little tip to share. The other one is, before you go live, something really smart to do if you have the time. Many times I don't have the time because I'm in a meeting. So I'm not as consistent with this, but you want to go live on your personal profile for like 5-10 minutes and just talk about something. It could be maybe you went on a walk and you saw something, or you want to just share a story. And then at the end of that little live on your personal profile, say, oh, and by the way, this just reminded me, if you'd love to hear about how to blah, 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 I'm going to be going live on my business page in the next hour. Hop on over there to say hi. And you could even say, I'll drop the link to my page down below. And that will help your business page, the lives on your business page as well. Okay, so another little nugget. Okay, so let's talk about the scoring. So Facebook scores, they score what's happening on the platform. And this score is going to determine what actually will get seen in the news feed. Okay, so number one is they do take into consideration interesting posts. Okay, so if your post is interesting enough, you may score higher than obviously a non-interesting post. They also are going to determine if that post or that piece of content, what are the active signals in that content? Did people react to it? Meaning, did they hit the like, the love, the angry reaction, the sad? Also, did they comment on it? Did they share it? How long did they stay reading that post? Did it click through off of the platform? That many times hurts you. They don't want people to leave the platform. That's why many times you'll see people say link in the comments. So that's another nugget. If you're going to put a link in your post, I would try to keep that at minimum. And, once or twice a week isn't bad, but if you're doing it for every single post or most of your posts, it's going to definitely hurt the scoring on that piece of content. So you want to put it in the comments. And so they are they are definitely paying attention to all of that. Then they're also going to generate a prediction as to what's going to happen, with future posts that are similar to this, right? And then they score it. And depending on all the reactions, the signals that are happening on that post, they're going to score it. And then they are going to decide if, not they, but the AI, the algorithm will decide if it scored high enough to be shown in the news feed and to keep spreading it out to more and more people. All right. So 8 best practices that you can follow starting today, as soon as I stop this live right now, is number 1, start striking up conversations with people. This is a social platform. It's meant to be social, not meant to solicit and market, unless you're on a business profile. But even then, you want to strike up a conversation with people. So when you post something on your business profile, especially if you get reactions, thank them. You can go into the people that follow your page and you can send them a personal message. Now that personal message will come from you as the personal profile, the admin for the page, but you can simply send them a quick message and say, hey, thanks so much for following along on my page. I love to connect personally with my followers. Is there anything that you're currently struggling with in such and such topic? That's it. Don't sell them anything. Just connect as a human being. People love to feel special. And if they don't respond, they may not, because it typically will go in their others folder. But some people are savvy enough to check that folder too. Okay. The other thing is when somebody comments on like your Facebook Live, right? Like you've just been commenting. So I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to love your comments and I'm going to reply to them. And that's going to also help the algorithm as well. And I might even send you a little message to say hello. So I hope you don't mind. So you want to do that too. When somebody comments on a Facebook post on your business page, there is a little message button there and you can actually click that and it opens up a small box, like messenger box, and you can send them a message as your business page. You have only 7 days to do that, and then that feature goes away. So you want to definitely be up on your notifications and pay attention to that, because that's another great way of starting a one-on-one conversation with a potential client. Also in groups, like make sure that you are having conversations in groups. Ask questions, participate with other people's conversations, give tips, suggestions. Do not be a salesy weirdo like my coach Molly says. You don't want to be a salesy weirdo, okay? You want to be a normal human being, speak like a human, interact as a human, and it will go so much further for you. Number 2 is you want to also steer up people's emotions. Right? So when people connect with you on a more emotional level, it builds not just a strong brand connection with you and your business and them, but personally. And you never know, like this could end up being a long-term client or a long-term collaboration partner. There's just so many ways that you can connect with people more on an emotional level. So ask them what they're feeling, like feeling the Monday blues, and then post something fun, post something distracting. So you also want to add humor, entertainment to your posts as well. Number 3 is check the best times for you to post. So inside of your analytics and insights, you can find out those peak hours that people are more engaged on your business page. So you want to post during those hours if you can. And if you schedule out your posts ahead of time, it's easy to then make sure that it falls during those peak hours. You can do the same thing on Instagram. So that's another way to start to build your engagement there. Number 4 is to be consistent. Now, I don't mean be consistent like they used to suggest years back. I mean, be consistent like once a day. At the most, twice a day is what you need to post. But I will say, if you have nothing valuable to share, don't post, because it's not gonna help you. In fact, it might steer people away. So post things that are valuable. And when you are posting, another nugget, start with a question. Not every single post, but many of your posts. So start with something like, on a scale from 1 to 10, how well do you think the algorithm plays with you? On a scale from 1 to 10, how long does it take you to get dressed in the morning? I don't know. So ask questions that give really quick responses, and then go into the rest of your content and caption for that post. But when you ask a question first, it lets your audience know that you care about them first, and you're not so much concerned about them hearing you out, right? So again, it's communication. Even though we are on a platform, it's technology, we need to get rid of this wall and stop acting like robots, because I've even done it, and just talk with people, converse. But being consistent is very helpful. So you want to be consistent. I typically try to post on, especially for our clients, on the same time of the day every day, or again, depending on those peak hours. You also, number 5, so another great thing to do to help you stand out in the algorithm is to connect and collaborate with others. And if you can take it a step further, connect with an influencer, a micro influencer for your business. And so what happens with that is that you are piggybacking on their audience and vice versa. If it's a collaboration, that's even better, because you're both helping each other out. And, typically that's not going to cost you anything, and it's not going to cost them anything. So find those collaboration partners, do a Facebook Live with them, do a Facebook Live on their page, promote them, they'll promote you. There's so many ways to collaborate with people on social that it really can increase not just how you show up in the algorithm, but also your email list and your connections and so forth. And then number 6, actually I have 3 more. So number 6 is, don't bait people. Well, first of all, the platform will not score things very well for you if you do, but you do want to have a call to action on most of your posts, especially for business. But it doesn't have to be like, click here to get that. It could simply be something like, raise your hand if you feel blah, 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 or would you agree? I mean, that is a call to action, right? Because you're asking for a response. So make sure that you have some sort of call to action in your posts. Number 7 is to make sure to track everything. So if you do not have if you have a website, so this is more so if you have a website, or it doesn't even need to be a full-on website. It could be just a landing page. You have a URL, you have a domain, okay? Make sure that you have installed your Facebook Pixel. You want to do this even if you're not running ads, because anytime that somebody from the platforms goes from here to your site, to your landing page, you can track that activity. Number 1, it will let you know how your website is doing, how your landing pages are doing. Why is somebody maybe stopping? Why aren't they clicking over to the next page? Why aren't they submitting their info? You will have all of this data available to you if you install the Facebook Pixel, okay? And the most important thing out of this is, if you're going to be running ads, you want to make sure that you have that installed, because you will be driving traffic to the website. So you can end up losing a lot of valuable data if you don't have that Facebook Pixel installed. All right. And then the last best practice is to experiment with different things. So like I said, if you haven't been doing any Facebook Lives, start doing them. If you need help with that, I would love to give you some tips on that. I do complimentary 30-minute social media content and personal branding audits, and I am happy to share some tips on how to go live on Facebook, but to do a live that's really engaging, and then what to do with that live afterwards. So if you want to hop on a call with me for free on Zoom, say the word splash, we will connect and we will do that together. And I'll also show you some gaps where maybe you can improve on what you're currently doing, so that you can optimize and elevate that visibility and connect with more of the right people. But you definitely want to experiment. And then you also want to, just try new things. So like if you haven't done, we talked about the Facebook Lives, but if you haven't done stories, start doing some stories. If you haven't done any events, like do some events, right? You can simply create a Facebook page event and then go live on there. Start inviting people. Do it ahead of time, like promote it ahead of time, maybe a week or two ahead of time. But just experiment with all of the different tools that you have available to you. Now, especially with Instagram, Reels is a big thing. By the way, I will admit, I have not done a Reel yet. I've done TikToks, but no Reels. So that is my next thing. But just experiment with all of these different tools because they are here to help us. And the newest tools are the ones that you want to jump on right away because those are the ones that the platforms are going to prioritize content from. So that's my last nugget. And if you have any questions and you're watching this on the replay, I will come back and answer them. You guys have an awesome rest of the day. Like I said, say the word splash if you want to jump on a call. And if you want to jump into my free community where I do much more in-depth trainings on subjects like this, just say the word group and I will send you an invite to get in there as well. Okay, so I will see you guys next week, same time, same day, Thursday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. Until then, bye and stay social. Bye, guys.